Hello and welcome back to Trainz Plus. Thank you very much for joining me in today's video. And in the last video, I started out a journey in a Class 43 HST going from King's Cross to Edinburgh. And in that video, I took a look at some of the cameras, but mainly I was focusing on the line itself and trying to see what needs to be done to bring this particular line up to Trainz Plus standards, I guess. Trainz 2022, 2025 standards, 2026 standards, I suppose. And in today's video, I'm going to be continuing with the second leg of that particular journey. Now, this leg should take us past Doncaster, and I'm not sure exactly how far we shall get, but let's see what happens. I'm interested to see what the railway is like in the Newark area, in the Grantham area, and in fact, definitely in the Doncaster area. That is going to be quite interesting. So make sure you stay tuned. Let's get started, or should I say, let's continue with this journey, which we have. We've just passed Peterborough to give you an idea of where we are. So just past Peterborough, all the way over to wherever we end up at the end of this video. Let's get started. Okay, it appears that we have just got the vehicle, it's just continued. One of the things I will say is perhaps it would have been better if it started off paused, but that's okay. That's okay. Let's see what happens with the various signals. And so it looks like we do have signals coming up, and we have an 85 mile per hour speed limit. No, it isn't. That's milepost 85. But we do have an amber coming up, and I want to see how the braking works for this then. Right, the AWS is not working. No, it's apparently just kicked. Right, I didn't hear the AWS, so that is not fair. Get the train brakes off. I'm not slowing down to this sort of speed. It's slowing me down all the way to 30. Well, alright, that's no good. And my lights are on, but the markers are incorrect. Why is this stopping me to 0? I do not want you to stop me to 0. Right, well that's really bad. I have no idea why the AWS did not warn me. I didn't see it flag up. I didn't see anything happen. That is slightly annoying. How do I get rid of this? F5, right? Maybe I've got to bring it back. No, the AWS, it's not showing up. Let's go back to the fly camera. No, it's not the fly camera I want, it's the drone camera I want. In fact, yes, let's go. Let's do this. I've got an idea. It's going to hit the brakes again for me though, isn't it? Let's get back inside and see if it activates the AWS. It does not. Oh, we have a green signal now. Oh, I did like the fact that I've just noticed for the first time we had a signal number. That's nice. Okay, so an interesting start. So anywhere where there was a thing somewhere to switch on and off the AWS system. Anyway, we are apparently chasing a slow train. We'll be passing Doncaster at. It looks like we'll be passing Doncaster at 12 o'clock. So yes, we'll be doing this video up to Doncaster. Let's go. In fact, let's use this as a thumbnail for a video. It's not something I've done. We've done an outside view. Let's do an inside view. 80. Now we do have an 80 mile per hour speed limit coming up. I want to know why the AWS was not working. I'm about to find out again. Let's see if the sunflower comes up this time. Get ready to press it. No, it does not. Oh, it's because it's green again. Those are very, very bright lights. I still think that the cabin noise should be a lot louder. I do think it should be a lot louder for this. Right, let's see. No, this one's green as well. That's a bit annoying. So these bushes along the side, I think if they reworked those would be really nice. I might, not that I have much time, but I might just take a look at, for the sake of it, I might just take a look at how to build one of these assets for Trainz. I mean, building the model and texturing it should not be too much of an issue, but just building it for Trainz itself, see, turning all of that into the new trees model, that would be great. Forgotten what that's it, that's the controls for that. That's the controls for the brakes. Right, we are headed uphill now. Now I'm still watching the signals. So I'm curious as to why the sunflower... So the sunflower is supposed to be there. I'm curious as to why it has disappeared. Oh, that was a nice smooth ramp up on the throttle. Doesn't sound great. That loop is not the greatest. I need to check if each of those signals have the same have the exact same number on them. I doubt it. That is one thing that is done fairly well. So all this terrain would need to be reworked. That road would need rework. All of these textures would need rework. There is a lot of work that needs to be done. There is no doubt about that. To bring it up to, well, let's say the standards of this locomotive, or this, in fact, this entire consist. Now, I really should be trying to figure out where we are again. So, obviously, past Peterborough, heading towards Newark. But I'm not entirely certain where past that. I want to see if those markings are there. I didn't realise that the triangles were also in yellow. Why did I not? Oh, hang on. This one could be a sunflower. It's amber. But, oh, it's just turned green. Interesting, notch 324 does not show you, or does not have much going for it. There's no sound difference. Right. So where are we? So we've gone past Peterborough. Next stop should be Grantham. Then Newark. But in the meantime, I've got to figure out where we are along this route. So, road over that. Yep, there's no sun. The AWS is not working. Right. How am I going to fix that? Because otherwise it's just going to keep doing this. How do I fix that? That's the emergency brake. We're going to keep running into trouble here. That's not it. No sounds, no alarms. So it was working in the last video, that's for sure. It was definitely working in the last video, but in this one it appears to have failed. So I'm just going to press this as I expect it to be pressed. So I've got to keep an eye out for these little yellow. I've forgotten what they're called. I've actually forgotten what those are called. Anyway, where are we? So I'm going to guess we're probably somewhere around. We've got to be near the A1 again, that's for sure. That's almost for certain. See that's a single yellow. Why has it done that? So that is now really annoying, because I'm unable to actually respond to the AWS properly. Is there a way for me to reset the AWS? Okay, I found a serious bug in this. This could do something. What does this do? No, brake demand, train stop override. See, and now you've done that, and that's just completely ruined everything. I guess I could do that, and that. Try and reset it. I'm now trying to reset the AWS. Waybills, session info. Settings? Would it be here? Driver settings, sound settings, control settings. No. Reverser, throttle, dynamic, that's all the brakes. Shovel coal, no. AWS reset, AWS isolate, here we go. Alt 1, Alt 2, and Alt space, let's try that. Alt 1, Alt 2, Alt space. That doesn't appear to be doing anything. Okay, well, this is going to be a really annoying. This is going to be a really annoying session, that's for sure. Try and figure out where we are, though. In the middle of nowhere. So we've just come around a curve. So what that curve could be, I have no clue. What's that? That's a road below us. It's a fairly large road. Well, this isn't a large road as large road as such. So we could be near. I don't know. Could we be near Swayfield? With the A1. Okay, if I've got this correct, we should be in Grantham in a few moments. Yeah. That again sounds improvements required. Okay, at least we have green lights now, since we kept having emergency brakes. There's another road and a little village. I wonder what that village is then. I am very much lost. It is difficult to tell when you're surrounded by things that are accurate, but also not, because the tiles just disappear. This is great for 2006. It's probably great for 2009 as well. Not anymore, unfortunately. We need those tiles. That there just looks like a beach, the way that falls off. Anyway, we have a 90 mile per hour section coming up, so I'm just going to ease off. I'm just going to ease off the throttle. Bring that right the way down. Okay, tight bend. What does that mean? Tight bend into broken tunnel. And then another bend. We could potentially be near Grantham now. Possibly. I think we're near Grantham. I think that there is a tunnel near Grantham, and then we've got the A1. So we should be popping out right next to the A1. In theory. Oh, why has that happened? That's not the A1. Maybe not. Maybe not. At this point, I'm now looking at a map, trying to figure out where we are. It's a nice little signal there. Overhead gantry. It's another water treatment plant. Over another road. It's not bad. This is not bad. As I said, if they were to, and I mentioned this in the last video, if they were to get a team of 3 to work on this, I think they'd be able to bring it up to the standards that it needs to be. And I do truly think this would be a really, really good map. A really good route. You're talking about 400 plus miles. Oh, there's Grantham. Okay, so I was right. We were near Grantham. It's just I'm not entirely I wasn't entirely certain how close to it. Now from here, I believe we will be going. In fact, I don't know where we're going. I have absolutely no idea. We're not stopping at Grantham, are we? We're just passing through. Yes, it's just a passing because the next one is Doncaster. Do not use the horn. As I pointed out in the last video, the horn's a bit naff in this. I think we'll be paralleling the... I don't know. I actually don't know. Right, here's one. Let's have a look at what Grantham is like. That's pretty good. Engine sheds, smallish station, or medium-sized station. As you can see, I'm not sure this entire train would fit in it. It just about does. And away we go. That was the train. I'm assuming that is the train that was holding us up. Which is not, that's not a problem. Thank you. Goodbye. Some more sidings, probably an engine maintenance yard out that way. Actually, no, wait. That way is a branch line to Nottingham, maybe? I think. Might be a branch line over to Nottingham. Okay. So we didn't really see the A1 again. The reason I keep mentioning the A1, I mentioned this again in the last video, is that this route roughly parallels the A1 and at times is adjacent to it. To an extent of the A1 would be right here. And there is no fence or anything. There might have been back in the 1980s, but certainly now there is no fence between the railway line and the road. So do with that information as you will. Let's get back into the locomotive, to the cab. Well, this tunnel is almost perfect. So I think we'll be coming up on, if I've got the area correct, the next thing we should be coming up on is a railway. A railway into a railway? I don't know what that bridge above that is. Not sure that. I mean, that bridge is there, but I'm not sure where it goes. But we should be coming up on a railway. In fact, one thing I'm going to check is I'm actually going to check what this looks like on satellite imagery. See how accurate it is. It's not great, but that doesn't matter because, in all honesty, I'm less fussed about the shape of the fields, and I'd rather that the detailing around here was correct. We've got something there, Liverpool cables. Alright. There's one crossing, railway over railway. I don't think that junction exists anymore in real life. So yeah, there is that. I mean, roughly the colours are roughly about right. So it isn't too far off what they have now. So it isn't too bad. Let's work our way around this bend. It is quite easy. I think the other reason why... oh, hang on. I think the other reason why I prefer to have... I think the detailing, the importance of all this detailing is because... Because these journeys are quite tedious, you could just... and I've done this before, the AWS has just come back. If I just sit in here, you could just sit there and enjoy the journey. But if you would really want better graphics to be able to enjoy that, yeah, the AWS has just come back, as you can see up there. So all I had to do was change cab, and apparently it's... Oh, does that mean it's reset all of my lights and everything? Oh no. I'm very confused. I am very, very confused. I was right in saying earlier at the beginning that the lights did not seem correct. They weren't. Or at least the way the switches were. So state saving is something that needs to be worked on. Not sure what that is. Not really sure where we are. I've lost where we are. I've definitely lost where we are. Great. Well, that is not ideal. And notch 2 sounds bad in this. What is that? Is that any town there? No. What did I do there? Not sure. Notch 3 sounds better. Not great, but definitely better. So notch 2 could do with some work. Also, I'm looking on some maps here, and I've just come across something that says, obviously it probably didn't exist back then, but it exists now. J&J alpacas. All right. Ooh, we've got a level crossing. Okay. Not seen too many of those. Not like that anyway. And here comes another one, gated level crossing. Can I pause this? What's the... I'm trying to look for a potential picture here, thumbnail. Oh, but they're not even... Oh, it's a... Right, that needs to be redone. But just looking at it from this sort of an angle is quite good. Let's try and potentially get a... That's pretty decent. And let's not pause it. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to press F5. Okay. Still have no idea where we are. We've crossed a river. And as to what river we've crossed, I have no idea. Or stream. Could be the River Witham. Not entirely certain. In fact, in this area, that's probably the only river it could be, right? So where are we currently? Nottinghamshire? If that is the River Witham, then we should be crossing... I think we should be at some major crossroads coming up near us. So Great North Road, or the A1 in this case, the old Roman Road, I've forgotten the name of it, Watling Way's Erskine Street? Okay, that's the A1. That has to be the A1, surely. Yes, that was the A1, so this is it. So we should now be... This is the bit that's quite interesting. We should be getting into Newark, and then we're going to cross where the A46 is, and there's a crossing here. It is a 100-mile-per-hour crossing, because I've seen it. And we're going to be coming up alongside the River Trent. Now, I've seen this area, and this area does tend to flood quite often. And I have taken a look at it whilst it's all flooded. I've forgotten the name of the old Roman road. Erskine Street? Possibly. Ooh, semaphores. I think it's Erskine Street. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Right, that's not fair. That's not fair again. No warning. It just goes straight into 60. No 8. Mind you, okay. I'm now going to ask a simple question: was that a thing that used to happen? Maybe this is me being silly. This could be me being silly. That sounds like that is out of a horror film. That truly sounds like it's out of a horror film. So that's Northgate, Newark Northgate, I believe. And we've got some. We do have some signals up ahead that are amber, but we now have. I should not have pressed that. We now have our AWS back, so that is good. Okay, this is the flat crossing. So, road bridge, flat crossing. Hang on a minute. Hang on. When was that road built then? That road that I'm thinking of is right here. It's a bridge across the River Trent. That road does not exist. This is I don't know if it's 60 in that direction. It's definitely not 60. This is a much far. There it is, 100. I remember that 100. And this area, this whole area just floods. These are floodplains. Okay, I need to go and have a look at historical maps. I guess that part, of course, that is the Newark bypass. Yes, that is the Newark bypass, I guess. So that wouldn't have existed. Yeah, that is the Newark bypass. Lovely. That's a good thing to note. There we go. It hasn't. Well, I'll get back in the train. Well, that was interesting to see. The reason I'm getting back in the train is because of the ambers. I want to see if there's... Look, the sunflower's back up. And the sunflower's back up there as well. That's useful. Just waiting for it. So, I can now acknowledge. There we go. I think I'm just going to have to press it there. Why are those barriers up? Well, they went down very, very slowly. Now we should now be running parallel to the A1 once again. Which is there and then disappears. Where'd it go? But yeah, you just about saw it. Brake. Definitely brake. More than that. Actually, no, we're alright. Brakes on this train are very, very strong. That's far too strong. That seemed far, far too easy to brake. That was far, far too fast. Right. Maybe another thing to potentially look at. How far away, I wonder, are we from Doncaster? I guess I should probably continue at... Yep. Not sure that's quite the alarm that we should have either, but that's okay. I'm less fussed about the alarm. So now we're all around the River Trent, but I think we'll be moving away from that soon. Because because the Doncaster? No, Doncaster is not on the Trent, so... No, that's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. It does... I'm not sure if they've got the notching right for this. Also, I understand why I am here. Why I'm actually slowing down for trains, because look just ahead of me. That does not show up. I know they're working on I know that they are working on lighting, so I'm hoping that lighting improves. Oh, it's pulling out my way. That's good. Yes, I'm hoping that lighting improves. I've never really seen something this close before. Never seen a train pulling off, and this is giving me ideas about how to improve my network in Transport Fever. Because look at that, now it's green. Of course, for it to work properly, I would need to have amber lights. But I'm just wondering, there's possibilities here. There are definite possibilities to improve the network. Start cranking that throttle up. All the way to notch 8. Level of detail definitely needs to be worked on as well. This pop-in, cannot have the pop-in. But again, that might be each one of these individual... might be each one of these individual assets that just have bad LOD models or something like that. We've apparently done 126 miles coming up from London. That's what I believe that is. I want to toot the horn, but I know it's terrible. Maybe if I just give it the lightest of toots. No, it still sounds terrible. Oh, hang on. Train. Fly. Train. Other train. Angle? Bad angle? No. It's... maybe? I've said a bunch of words, and I'm not sure that any of those words are useful for what I've just done. Oh, and we're at Carlton. Okay, I know where we are now. I say I know where we are. By that I mean I know that. Why did I? Okay. I know where we are in terms of I can find this on a map. Carlton, right near the River Trent, Carlton upon Trent. Here we go. And then we have a road. Oh, that's the A1. There we go. I was mentioning the A1. Well, there it is, right above us again. Told you we'd cross it many times. Oh, again, in the last video, told you we'd cross it many times over. And that is exactly what we are doing. And then this is the Great North Road, which we saw in the first, or part of the Great North Road, which we saw back right near London. So that's the old road all the way up, which is also somewhat paralleling the A1. The A1 was just the bigger, faster road to handle more traffic. So we'll just continue around this curve, and I guess the next stop would be... what is the next stop? We're going to cross another railway. Then we're going to cross the A57, or the A57 shall cross us. We'll move away from the A1 quite a distance away, go through Retford, Retford might be down the side of Ranskill, Bowtree, and then Doncaster. Oh no, Rossington, then Doncaster. And that is where we shall end the video. So we still have a little ways to go. Not a huge amount. We're over halfway there to Doncaster, even though we had some issues at the start. But yes, that's good enough. Now, whilst I've been looking at the map, I have no idea how far we've actually travelled. So I have to, well, I guess, look out the window, see the road. No road. That is what I really want to see. I want to be able to pick out landmarks like the Great North Road. That sort of thing, I think, is really important. Those barriers for the level crossing are coming down far too slowly. I have no idea where we are. That's something. That's a large factory. What's around here? Think. What could be around here? That's that large. Not sure. That's another railway, right? Yep, that's the other railway that I was talking about. So single track. So that's got to be Tuxford right there. But what's in Tuxford? That's so large. No idea. Absolutely no idea. That's a road. Not sure what road that was. I'm just going to look it up. It's the A6075. Well, that is what it is now. Back then it may not have been that. It might have been something else. Yeah, 2 is not... Notch 2 is definitely the worst of the notches in this. Let's go. Yeah, let's do that. And back down. Right. And then into a tunnel. Again, not entirely certain where we are. From there, I've got to find this tunnel now. Where is this tunnel? No clue. Well, we're turning in that direction, so a wide sweeping curve. What road are we near? Oh, the Great North Road, the one that we cannot see. So if this curve turns into a straight and then into a curve to the left fairly soon, that would be the... I know where we are. 3-track. I do like this idea. That's a pretty good idea. Look outside again. Right, judging by that road, we are on Eaton Road. Or that is Eaton Road, and that actually is accurate, and this is why I'm looking around to see this sort of stuff. I want to see the accuracy. Okay, round the curve, so I do know where we are. we will be crossing the A638 London Road. No prizes for guessing where that goes. So I think we're coming into Retford, and Retford is also another one of those stations that looks like it's got some sidings, and it's got two stations actually. There's a low level station and a high level station. We'll be going through the high level station and crossing. Before we do that, we will cross over the low level station. So let's see how that actually looks. Then as we do that, or after we do that, guess what road we're going to be crossing? It is, of course, the Great North Road. Multiple times. In fact, I guess that is the Great North Road that they renamed London Road for a bit. Okay, we've gone over the low level station, through the main station. That's nice. That signal. What was that signal for? These houses, again, they're houses we saw around the Hatfield area. So redoing the houses in Hatfield, the assets anyway, should mean that we get to we'll see and reap the rewards over here. In fact, I'm seeing a few houses here that are the same. So that's useful. Chesterfield Canal, right there. You can tell it's a canal because it isn't naturally moving like the river. It hasn't got natural banks. And let's see what roads we have coming up next. Not sure what road that was, but above us, once again, is the Great North Road. And this time they've actually built it all the way for a distance. Oh, and they've actually built the canal for a much longer distance too. Interesting. I am running out of some things to say right now, but it is interesting. Now we are going to be directly parallel with the Great North Road for a significant portion of time, until I guess now we've got the A1 peels away from us just a bit, but we are going to be, yes, we're going to be directly parallel with the Great North Road until I think we're going to cross it just before Doncaster, I believe. Shortly before Doncaster, we'll be crossing the Great North Road. I think it will be going above us, and I believe it's a fancy bridge. Well, it's not really a fancy bridge, but it's a bridge, and so it should be quite obvious, this bridge. Hopefully, it's accurately modelled. Yeah, the level crossings are not coming down fast enough. They really, really are not coming down fast enough. So perhaps that's a scripting issue with the scenario. Possibly, I'm not entirely certain. We'll have to see. I'd say I'm doing relatively well for time. I've sort of lost where we are again. That's okay. I can only think that might have been Mattersey Road. And then, therefore, this is something or other, I don't know. I'm not entirely certain. I'm not entirely certain at all. I keep forgetting that this player's name is Harry. All right, now we have something directly alongside us. This is nice. This is very nice. This isn't a main road or anything. It's just something directly alongside us. It's nice to see. That is somewhat what it's like in Scotland as we're coming up the A1 to Edinburgh, which we might get to. We might get to in the coming weeks. I have no idea where we are. I am now once again truly lost. Oh, back into a 60. Why does it do this? And then we're going to a 40. What is this 40 for? Well, in all honesty, this will help me a little because I do want to bring it down to 40. I cannot pay attention to that the way it is actually displayed. Why is that 60, 40, 100? I guess I need to pay more attention to those bits as opposed to trying to figure out where I am. Something here, it says Bowtree Viaduct or Bawtry Viaduct. Bawtry? Bowtree? I have no idea. Never been to this place. No idea how it's pronounced. I'd have pronounced it Bawtry. Like raw boar. Yeah, Bawtry. Bowtree, maybe. Oh, well, speaking of the viaducts, here it is. Yep, that's the viaduct. I'm guessing that is why it is 40 for that viaduct, and that's a very low bridge. Yes, I can only assume this is why it is 40 through this. Is that what the viaduct looks like? Let's go find out, shall we? Actually, it is not far off. Not far off at all. Okay. I'll give credit there. Don't know, I mean, there's not that many photographs of it, but yeah, it is not that far off. Excellent. I guess if I look at it from here, I might be able to see it a little bit. Ah, but that part of going where it goes over the road, it isn't like that. I assume it used to be, and they've reworked it. Yeah, I think they've reworked this with modern. Yeah, that looks modern. It looks like they have redone that bit. I'm just trying to look from various different angles, but from different angles I can see it as the arches. Okay, cool. Start crawling our way back up to 100. As we make our way around this curve. Let's go up to notch 8. That bit there, it just sounds like it's cutting. Obviously it isn't, but it just sounds like it. Crossing another road. No idea what particular road that is. Wait. Was that supposed to be the Great North Road Bridge? Possibly. I guess we'll find out. Yes, that was the Great North Road Bridge. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I think so. There should be more trees here as well. It should be a much more tree-lined area. But that's okay. That's not too much of an issue. Well, I can tell you that if that was the Great North Bridge, it wasn't much of a spectacle for it. The angle makes it seem as though it was, but there we go. Now we're going to go through a town called Rossington. There used to be a station that trains would have stopped at. And then we've got some more bridges coming up. Great Yorkshire Way coming up. So this is one road, Stripe Road Bridge. Does it look like that? I can't tell from the... I cannot tell from the pictures. Probably not, because that looks a little bit more generic. This, I assume, would be where the station was. I'm going to guess this is where the station was. Yes, it must be. It's wide enough to have all the station areas. No, actually the station was where the level crossing was. This is something else. And then we've got that road, which is apparently called Great Yorkshire Way? No. No. That road was the M18. Really? Possibly. Possibly. I also see a speed limit. This time I'm going to pay attention to it. There we go. I've actually paid attention to the speed limit this time. I know I'm speeding, but I should... That releases the brakes far too quickly. I'm now trying to work out where I am, and I'm struggling once again. I think we've just been going over railways. This is the area of yes, we're coming into Doncaster. So this is where it's all very, very industrial. This is where they used to build trains. So the old engine sheds and all of those kind of things. In fact, I think they still do build some trains here. There are some depots in the area. So there is a lot of that going on. In fact, here, take a look around. Okay, admittedly, it doesn't look as great from here. But yes, this is where a lot of locomotives were built in the UK. This here and Crewe, I think, were the two main places a lot of engines were built. And this is not even the station yet. It's just some of the yards. We'll be coming up to the station in a while. So this area has now all been, a lot of this has been replaced. There are still some freight bits, but I think a lot of this has now been replaced by other warehouses and things in one direction or the other. At least partially, not all the way, but certainly partially, bits have been replaced. I think that might be what is now the Hitachi Rail Depot. I'm not entirely certain. Just keeping an eye on the speed and the lights. And as we come around under the roundabout? Not a roundabout back then. I think it is a roundabout. Oh no, it is a roundabout. It's a really bad one, but there we go. As we come back in, welcome to Doncaster Station. And this is where we are going to be ending today's video. So Doncaster Station, as you can see, also a very, very busy station. Lots of steam engines to this day pass through here. That's not quite how the station is supposed to be here, though. I know that. Because I've seen this station in the real world. So it doesn't look like that. That could need a custom model. That could definitely need or do with a custom model. But that is where I am going to end today's video. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to click on the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on Trainz Plus. The next part of our journey should take us past York and potentially past York and Darlington, and we'll be looking at, well, then the part after that will be Newcastle, then we'll be doing Berwick and then Edinburgh. So yes, we still have we've only been going on this for about 2 hours. We still have quite a long way to go. Another 3.5 hours actually. So there we go. That will be what the rest of the journey will be over the next few videos if I decide to continue this, which I might. It seems to be working now that I know how to fix the now that I know how to fix the issues with the AWS. That is much better. So yes, I might actually continue with that. Do check out the description box for links to my Patreon, social media and Discord server. But aside from that, that is all from me, and I shall see you next time in Trainz Plus to continue the journey towards Edinburgh, this time passing through York and Darlington.